I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about it.
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance. 'Cause right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
If my day keeps going this way, I this might.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something break. Give me something break. I hope you know I like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here,
Not Robert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 198 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. It's been a while, I know. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone has had a pretty good month or so. I know it's been an awful long time since I last did an episode. I believe episode 197 aired on sometime in start of March or something like that, but we're here. So yes, I know it's been a while. I've said maybe a couple times on Telegram and all of that, but I've just been really busy with work. That's why I haven't really been putting out a lot of episodes as of late. So I was focusing on that because I think that was a lot more important. And all the other stuff behind the scenes with PA, that was also quite important for me as well. And if I had enough time to do an episode for Mood of the Nation, then of course I would do that right now. So, but we're here anyway. So yes, I am doing tonight's episode. I do see quite a lot of people in the chat as well. A lot of familiar faces, which is really good to see. Let me see. It feels a little bit weird coming back actually now that I mentioned that because, like I said, it's been maybe just over a month I've done the last episode, and it does feel a little bit weird coming back in a way. It kind of feels like, well, internet years. It feels like a long, long time ago I've last done this. But anyway, let's have a quick look and see. But actually, before I do that, can everyone hear me okay? I know the microphone is literally right here, but I just want to check the sound quality because my mouth is, up here and the mic's right there. So just want to double check and see if the sound is coming in clear for everybody. So what everyone can do, if you wouldn't mind, let me know in the chat if you can hear me just now, or if the sound is clear. If so, great, awesome. If not, I'll see if I can sort that in a minute. Audio good. It's all good, Chief. Right, that's fine. 2 people so far. That's excellent. All right, sounds okay. There's Joe Marsh in the chat. Excellent. Good to see. Good to see. Thank you guys for letting me know. Anyway, who's in the chat? We have Ugly Truth. Thank you very much for watching. Budgie Burgers with us. How you doing? Tricky Woo, No Name, Rory Herbert, Deb S-I or S-Y-M. How you doing? Martin W, Kingdom of Vinland. It's actually been a while since the last seen you, Kingdom. Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Of course, I mentioned Joe Marsh already. Kingdom of Vinland, real quick. The new anti-white hate speech law in Ireland and Sweden is infuriating. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about that. That is something we will cover. And I know I'm sure many people have seen the Telegram post earlier today, posted by, of course, yours truly. That there's a possibility that tonight's episode might be the last episode. Now, is is this going to be the last episode? I will tell you all later on towards maybe towards the end of the show, if it's going to be, if tonight's episode will be the finale or anything like that at all. But we'll cover that much later on. But for now, I'm glad to be back on. I'm glad that everyone here is in the chat. 17 people watching tonight, which is really good to see. So that's fantastic to see with that. And also, we have Jojo Gizmo in the chat. So thank you all very much for coming along and watching tonight's episode. Maybe the final episode, I don't know. But like I said, I will mention that possibly towards the end of tonight's episode, maybe before we'll do the usual half an hour Q&A section with that. But tonight, we're primarily going to be talking about the new hate speech law that has come to pass back in the 1st of April, which was Monday. But before we do that, there is something I also want to address as well on the show, which is something I have talked about before, but it was mainly to do with the verdict, whether or not, if, of course, this being Sam Melia, of course, at the time was found guilty, even though the stickers he put up were completely lawful. They were not hindering on or encouraging violence in any way, shape, or form. They were completely lawful, completely legal stickers. But of course, because of the anti-white system we're living in just now, he's been found guilty for the stickers, and it was a lot of people have said it. People within PA, people outside of PA, within the national sphere, even people who would view themselves more like civic nationalists, even have, like Count Dankula and the Lotus Eaters, for instance, even have went on to say that this comes off very much like a political prisoning, as a way of trying to make an example out of Sam Melia, because, of course, Sam Melia is a pretty big name. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, which, I mean, I don't know how you cannot like Sam, but regardless, they were trying to make an example out of Sam with that sentencing. So I've talked about the verdict. I don't believe we've covered the sentencing, which I know I was off at the time, busy doing my work and all of that. So at the time, of course, I found out the news. Or actually, no, would that be like run about the same day? Anyway, the point here being is, I'll just touch upon it, Red, just now, because there was a demo that happened quite maybe a week or two ago that happened, which I was part of. I'll get to that in a moment. But Sam, of course, went back. I believe he went back with this sentencing when it comes to it. And of course, I believe he received, what was it, 2 years of custodial sentence, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me in the chat if I get that wrong, but I believe it was 2 years of custodial sentencing because of, again, lawful stickers. And even the judge, I believe, again, paraphrasing here, but I believe the judge has said that they did it, again, to try and make an example out of Sam. Well, turns out, of course, the backlash was incredible. There were many people that were not happy with this, even people who I've seen who are not fully involved in the internet political sphere. Even those people have come out and saying how ridiculous this was, and people have said, look, I don't necessarily agree with Sam's viewpoints. I don't agree with Patriotic Alternative or any nationalist groups or anything like that at all. But I do agree with what happened to Sam is absolutely frightening, to say the least, because if this could happen to Sam, this could potentially happen to anybody with regards to that. Because, again, the stickers in question were very lawful. They were not encouraging violence. They were not inciting violence towards any group of people or anything like that at all. They were very, very lawful. But again, like I mentioned before, that didn't matter. Of course, context doesn't entirely matter. Or what was it exactly that the judge said? That the truth, or it was something along the lines of the truth was not an important factor to the whole case or something like that. Basil Fawlty in the chat even said the judge seemed pressured. Maybe potentially, I don't know, but I think what we found out later on, this judge who was part of Sam's case was also the same judge. Again, I might be wrong in saying this, but I believe the judge was involved in another case involving like a pedophile case, and I pretty much let that person go. Something along those lines. Again, I'm the truth is no defense. That's it. Thank you, no chance, or Clive. Thank you very much for watching the show. But yeah, as I was saying, this judge who was part of Sam's case was part of another case that had something to do with like pedophilia or something along like that. Again, I might be wrong in that, but it's something to that fact. The point being is this isn't something that's not entirely new or anything like that at all. We have seen in this nation and in the whole of the United Kingdom where you can commit some of the most horrific acts possible, whether it be assault, murder, pedophilia, rape, you name it, the most horrific crimes imaginable. What you would get exactly is a slap on the wrist, basically. But if you're someone like Sam Melia, who puts up stickers even before he was a member of Patriarch Alternative, and those stickers, again, as I mentioned, were very lawful. They were not breaking any laws by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, not 2 years custodial sentence. But if you're someone who's a nonce and preys on children, oh well, you just get like a slap on the wrist. You just didn't know any better, right? It's horrific, absolutely just horrific. And there have been cases like that before. In fact, we've seen what happened with James Costello, for instance. Now, that's a bit of a different. Well, it's not a bit of a different story, but what I mean is, again, it's a similar situation where James, prior to PA, again, that's a bit of a story in and of itself. But again, I don't think he really should have been sent to prison for that length of time, or shouldn't be going to prison at all when it comes to that. But excuse me. But meanwhile, there's other people who've committed much more heinous acts, but they get like a slap on the wrist, basically. And it's like, yeah, that's another good point, Martin W in the chat. Commie stickers everywhere. Yeah, of course they're everywhere. You'll see commie stickers or communist stickers that promote communism or Marxism and all of that all over the major metropolitan cities. I've seen them all across Glasgow, for instance. I mean, they're all over the walls or the lampposts, you name it. I would see them in Edinburgh. I'm sure you would see them in places like London or Birmingham or Manchester. Again, the major cities. But those stickers all day, they're completely fine. No worries whatsoever. But God forbid you put up a sticker that read something like, "It's okay to be white." Oh, you get thrown in prison, apparently. You get sent to the gulag, apparently. It's just, it's maddening, to say the least. Well, that being said and done, of course, a lot of people were not happy with this whatsoever. And of course, understandably so. A lot of people see this as a threat to not only to free speech, but they see this as, if this could happen to Sam, because again, keep this in mind, this is clearly a political jailing. This is very politically motivated. If they can do this to Sam Melia, they can do this to anybody, basically. And that's what many people, even people who don't necessarily share the nationalist viewpoint, even, like Dankula, Lotus Ayres and all of that, even those people have come out to defend Sam Melia, even though they've said like, "Wow, I don't agree with his opinions" and all of that. But at the end of the day, what happened to him could easily happen to anybody. And I think it was actually cool to see that everyone not necessarily agree with everything, but it was cool to see that everyone can actually get behind the idea that what happened to Sam was bullshit and this could happen to anybody, and we need to start actually standing up and speaking up about this. So much so, in fact, that PA have decided to do a demonstration in Leeds. Was it Leeds? Yeah, Leeds City Centre, which thankfully I was a part of. That happened on the 23rd of March, I think it was. I've also got an article up here on the PA website, of course, so we can have a look at this together. Just reading the comments again real quick. Tricky Woo as Scumsa spews anti-white bile in front of Parliament. we'll definitely get to that later on because that's a lot of stuff to cover when it comes to that. Truth is no defense. I've read that already. Basil Faulty said, Hamza is looking through your window. Moody, quick shut the curtains. Well, it's funny you just to touch upon the hate speech laws that have been put into place on the 1st of April. Just briefly, real quick. There's a possibility that Police Scotland might be watching this very stream right now, which, I mean, if that's the case, hello. I hope you officers are doing fine and doing well. I hope the job is going great, I guess. But just so you all know, I'm everything I'm doing and saying is by law. I'm not going to be saying or committing any criminal acts or anything like that, or at least I hope not. But of course, being a member of Patriarch Alternative, we do have a code of conduct anyway. So again, if you're watching this, which I'm pretty sure there's a possibility you might, considering I'm a very small YouTube channel, but again, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the show. But yeah, anyway, what was it going? Oh yeah, that's right, the article. We'll just get that up here in a moment or two. Let me see if I can get the article from Patriarch Alternative about the free Sam Milia demo in Leeds. Let me see here. Public Address News, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Let me see if I got two articles about it. In fact, one from the PA website, and there was one post that was made by Laura, which was posted on her Telegram page. I might as well put that up on the link as well. And then we'll get started. A sec. Oh, and also, folks, I do apologize as well. I think I'm having or catching a cold or something like that, which is kind of funny considering that I've had a cold back in March as well. So it's kind of weird considering that I had the cold, then it went away for a bit, and now it seems like it's coming back. Because where I'm working, a bit in a warehouse environment is pretty cold temperature, so maybe it might have something to do with that. I don't know, but the point is, I'm having a bit of a cold here, so apologize for the sneezing or sniffing or anything like that at all. That'll be why in this case. They might arrest you for that wallpaper. Yeah, you all missed the wallpaper. You all missed the wallpaper, of course. But yeah, English Rose, not to worry, you've not missed anything at all. We were just touching upon the Sam Milia case because the last time I talked about it on the last episode was when. Again, I believe it was more to do with the guilty verdict, but we haven't really touched upon the sentencing, which, of course, we've just talked about that just now. We're going to be covering more on this part of about the demonstration that PA did. And also, English Rose, I'm not sure if you've seen the Telegram post, and for people who've joined into the chat, like 7th Brigade, thank you very much. But yeah, there's a possibility that tonight's episode, well, I'll start over, right? On my Telegram page, I mentioned that this might be the last episode. Now, is that true when it comes to this tonight's episode? I know even Rory Herbert in the chat said, no, you have to get up to 200, episode 200 at least, Chief Moody, but I will touch upon that later on when it comes to that. So, in that case. So will tonight's episode be the last? I will talk about that towards the end of tonight's episode. So just bear with me when it comes to that, folks. Kingdom of England, real quick. I'm curious, what are your relations like between the white well-being community and Patriarch Alternative? I mean, personally, I'm not entirely too sure. I personally don't really have a problem with the white well-being community or anything like that. I think that's more to do with No White Guilt or Jason Cohn's group. I mean, I personally don't have a problem with Jason or that group in particular. I know there seems to be a bit of a difference in how to approach certain things within the national sphere. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're all supposed to be working with each other, not against each other when it comes to nationalism and all of that. So I personally don't have a problem with them. Some of their viewpoints, I actually do kind of agree with some of it. I don't when it comes to it, but I've got nothing against them personally. So, but hopefully, even with that, I hope they're doing well, and I hope Jason is doing well with that. So, but that's just me when it comes to it. Have you seen the Hate Monster yet, from Martin W? I've heard of it. I've heard of it when it comes to that, but yeah. English Rose with I'm assuming that's is that a crying emoji? I hope it's not a crying emoji. Well, I'll cover that later on. Okay, well, I'll cover that later on. And the Woodlanders in the chat as well, which of course, thank you very much for watching tonight's episode. No White Guilt is a bit deluded. I'm not saying any further when it comes to it. That's not my opinion with it, but we'll leave it there when it comes to that. So let's get into the demonstration that was held on the 23rd. Now, I did go to this demo on the 23rd, and thankfully I managed to get a day off work for that, basically. So normally with my shift pattern is I work from Friday up until Tuesday from 2 p.m. until 10. I did ask the managers if it was possible if I can get a holiday for Saturday the 23rd. If not a holiday, maybe like a day swap. So I would work on one of my days off and then have the day off on Saturday instead, which we made the deal for that. That sounds like a better deal, which was fantastic. So I worked on Wednesday instead, and then I would have that Saturday off, which of course that happened. I left pretty early. In fact, I had to get the earliest train there, even though I believe the train journey was about, I think it was about like 3 hours long or 3.5 hours long. But the reason I went out early was because I wanted to be there pretty early on so that I could potentially, of course, meet all the other people and not be late, because I wasn't exactly too sure of what was happening, whether or not if we were all going to be meeting up at one place and then walking through the city center and get to the location where we need to go, or if it was going to be a case of actually being there at that sort of idea. So I wanted to get there early so that I would meet up with everybody and then, of course, not be lost or anything like that at all. Because again, I've may have stopped in Leeds before when I was traveling through England for one of the PA conferences, but that was it. I've never actually, maybe actually walked through this city center because I wouldn't know where to go basically. But the travel was fine. We got there fine and dandy, met up with everybody. I think there were some surprises from some people, like, oh, they never expected me to be there. But I did say to everybody that I was not going to miss this demonstration because, of course, not only was I there to support to support Sam Melia, but I also wanted to be there to support the idea of free speech as well. Now, I'm not to say that I'm not a free speech absolutist or anything like that at all, but I do support the idea of free speech because I think this is a clear example of a severe violation on Sam's free speech because, again, he didn't do anything that was he didn't break any laws with the stickers or anything like that at all. But anyways, let's have a look at the article in question. And also, thank you very much, English Rose, of course, being one of the mods of the show, giving out links. There's the link for No Chance's channel, which give No Chance or Clive a sub if you haven't done so already. Show your support. And what's this one here? And also follow Woodlander as well on YouTube and other platforms as well. Let me see here if I can share the screen. Yeah, so do that, and then can I maybe yeah, I might as well just do that. Okay, yeah. Share system, yeah, just in case. Okay, we'll do that. All right, and then click on to this. All right, cool. So we're sharing the screen. Just want to double check. Get back onto this real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Wow, there's 33 people watching. I really can't believe that. Thank you all very much. Also, I want to give a big shout out to, of course, Mark Collette and also to Patriotic Alternative for sharing the stream on Telegram, which I mean, that's fantastic. Actually, is there? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Just before we get into the article, folks, I want to share something real quick because I'm actually back on Twitter, or X as it's now called. So what I'm about to show you guys is my brand spanking new Telegram page, or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it Twitter because that's what it technically is, basically. So there is my brand new Twitter page. What I'm just going to do as well is I will post it in the chat just now. I'll just go back onto here real quick. There we go. Perfect. So there's the link to my Twitter account. So if you're still on Twitter and if you're looking for more people to follow, there is my Twitter account just now. Please give me a follow on Twitter. Because I think I'm going to be there maybe a bit more often than I will than I used to be. Maybe not always, but I'll try and post more on Twitter from the time and time again when it comes to that. So, yeah, there's my new Twitter account. Give me a follow there if you can. That would be much appreciated. And also, let me just go back onto the page real quick. I might be spoiling a bit ahead, but that's a photograph that was taken of me at the demonstration, which I mean, cheesy smile and all of that. And according to No Chance or Clive, well, not just Clive, but there's a lot of people with that, whether it's PA or anyone from the nationalist scene. Apparently, I look like Nick Frost. In fact, even people outside of nationalism, I know on a personal level, seem to think that I look a bit like Nick Frost. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but actually, you know what? Let's come back to we'll come back to that actually. And wow, Tricky Woo and Kingdom of Vinland has given me a follow. Oh, and also Highland GNU has also followed me on Telegram. Not Telegram, sorry, Twitter. Sorry, thank you very much. Also, shout out to Highland GNU. Thank you very much for the £20 donation on PayPal, which I did not expect. I actually almost forgot about PayPal when it comes to that, but yes, I still have my donation links. That would be PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. I haven't got them on the screen just yet, but if you want to, I think they'll be in the description down below. But if you want to send a shekel here or two, then you're welcome to do so. Please don't feel obligated if you have to donate. It's there as an option, basically. So if you want to send a donation through, please do so if you so choose to. And again, GNU Highland or Highland GNU, thank you very much for your kind generosity for your £20 donation. Thank you. So let's actually get right into the article because we're half an hour into the show already. So here's the free Sam Melia demo in Leeds. On Saturday, Patriarch Alternative held our largest Flash demo to date, where we campaigned in Leeds City Centre on a busy Saturday for the release of Sam Melia and other political prisoners. Those other political prisoners, of course, being James Allchurch, aka Sven Longshanks, James Costello, Charlie Big Potatoes, and so on and so forth. Speeches were given, leaflets were handed out, and attention was drawn to the draconian laws that the anti-white state uses to unfairly target patriotic people. This is just the beginning. We will continue campaigning for a stop to the political persecution of nationalists, and we have a number of projects in the pipeline. Get involved above to be the first to know of everything we have planned, and please help us share the below video and videos on social media. Now, there is a video of this. I don't think there's really any point to show the video, considering, again, PA have already released it. You can find that video on Telegram and also on Odyssey. You can find it. In fact, you can even watch it on the PA TV link, which is right there. I want to see if I can copy the link address and then just pop it in the chat as well. There's English Rose posting the links. Thank you very much, English Rose. Greatly appreciate that. Jockey Blinders. That's funny. That. Anyways, there are photographs of the day. Oops. Oh, there's. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just watch the video. I know people have already seen the video, but maybe just for context, let's watch the video in question, and then we'll get back into looking at some of the photographs that were taken, and we'll have a look at Laura's post about it as well, and then we'll move on to the hate speech bill that's come to pass here in Scotland on the 1st of April. So this is the free Sam Melia video. Let's have a look at this.
Sam Melia has been sentenced to 2 years in custody.
Sam Melia should be released immediately. He should be released immediately. He should be allowed to attend to the birth of his child because his wife's currently pregnant.
Creating stickers calling out multiculturalism.
Oh, yeah, sorry, just real quick, sorry. This one I was really surprised of, Tommy Robinson. Now, I understand that many people here in the chat will have their opinions on Tommy, myself included, right? And I know Tommy Robinson has had his opinions on Mark Collett and Patriotic Alternative in the past, but this one, there's possibly stuff that happened afterwards, but this one I was at the time really, really surprised of it. I did not expect this whatsoever. I would maybe expect this from Count Dankula because again he is the free speech guy, but I did not expect this from Tommy Robinson. You know, the guy who is the number one Zionist shell in British nationalism. I did not expect this from him whatsoever. So, but hey, it is what it is. But we'll continue on from there.
Stickers calling out anything should not result in 2 years in prison. But least of all, stickers that are actually true.
Sam's wife, Laura, is 8 months pregnant, and Sam will now be in prison for the birth of his second child. What a travesty of justice. That from Keith Woods.
We're defending free speech, the cornerstone of any democracy and liberal society, and without it, we're on a one-way trip to a world where legal political beliefs could land you in prison.
The judge also admitted that no hate crimes were committed as a result of this.
Right, so what this is a political jailing. I mean, frankly, this is how this should be considered.
He should not be in jail, yeah? He should not be in jail.
2 years in jail for posting stickers online that say our borders are open, we're being replaced, stand up for yourself. That's why they want you silenced, is because you're good people standing up for yourselves under attack, and people resonate. That's why they want to silence you.
By the way, yeah, pause it again. There's a bit of a funny bit here with the walk. The walk itself wasn't funny, but if you're wondering where I am, I'm literally right here. When I was walking through there, I was behind the guys who were holding up the banner, and I was holding up the sign "Say No to Thought Crime, Free Sam Melia." I was just like behind them like the whole time. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a point to make with there. Anyway, there's me again, of course.
Today is about voices. It's about your voice. It's about my voice. But most of all right now, it's about Sam Melia's voice. Freedom for Sam Melia. Freedom for James Alter. Freedom for James Costello. Freedom for Charlie Big Potatoes. And freedom for all political prisoners. We are Patriotic Alternative. Thank you.
There we go. That's the video. We'll just get back onto the article right here. Just showcasing the photographs that were taken for the day. Let me see. There's one where we all gathered. I can't remember the name of the building, but I think it wasn't City Hall, but it was somewhere in particular. In fact, I remember reading a Wikipedia post on Leeds because I was there on the day. I wanted to know a bit more about Leeds. This was also after the event was done, and I was just getting ready to go home. I can't remember the name of the building, so maybe someone in the chat might know, but it wasn't City Hall. I know that. And this is where we were walking through. again, part of the city center of Leeds. There's me again, walking ahead of the banner now, but yeah. Oh, one of my colleagues from PA Scotland managed to come as well. So I wasn't the only Scotsman that went to this event, which of course was, thankfully. But there were some representation of PA Scotland that were there. In fact, I believe that's one of my colleagues' banners, Sam Melia, Working Class Hero. So that was really cool. And it was also cool to see that I believe, and again, I'm not sure if this was the case, but I believe my colleague was the one that started the chant, the free, free, free Sam Melia chant. I might be wrong. I'm not sure if it was him, but it was cool to see that he was the starter of that chant. Everyone was behind the chant as well, which was really cool to hear. So it was really cool to see he was part of that demonstration. So yeah, really, again, it was a really good day and it was a really good turnout as well. So here is Laura's post about it, because there's a couple of photographs as well. We'll just read the post first and then have a look at the photographs in a moment. This is from Laura. Thank you to everybody who attended our freedom of speech demo in Leeds today, being Saturday the 23rd of March. It was Patriotic Alternative's largest ever flash demo, with activists attending from multiple regions, including Scotland, which of course myself and my colleague. 7 speeches were given, raising awareness of Sam's case, other political prisoners in England and Wales, and the implications it has for all of us. And a ton of leaflets were handed out to the people of Leeds. I can't wait to show Sam the photos, video, and speeches to follow, which I think some of them have already been released on Odyssey. Some of them you can definitely check out for yourselves. And it was actually really cool to see Sam's dad. Now, I didn't get to speak to him personally or anything with that at all, but it was nice to see that he came along to the demonstration and he gave a speech as well, which was really cool to see. So, but yeah, anyways, let's have a look at some of the photographs. I don't know if I can actually, can I maybe, well, there's the leaflet. Sentenced to 2 years for thought crime, free Sam Melia, father, husband, political prisoner. There's the leaflet that was handed out on the day. And, oh God. Yeah, this was Laura's idea to take this photograph. And also, funny thing too was this sign here. Actually, I think I might actually have it. I'll just back onto my screen here in a moment. Is that what it was called? Century Square. That was the name of it, right? Joe Marsh, according to haters, we never go to the city centers. We go up mountains with banners. Well, it's funny how times have changed with regards to that, wasn't it? Yeah, because I remember when PA, this was around about 2020, 2021 or something like that. Yeah, there were people that were just like, off. Look at PA, what a bunch of cowards. They were just making up banner drops in mountains where there's barely anyone there. Well, look at us now. We're doing it in the middle of a city center and actually going through the public with banners, with flags and all of that, showcasing people, hey, we're patriotic alternative. We're here and we're making a statement. So yeah, clearly times have changed when it comes to that over the past, 2, 3, maybe 4 years or something like that. But anyways, one sec. I actually still have that same sign. That sign, the free Sam Melia sign. Well, I kept it. So I think this was a different sign, because even from the video, or maybe that was someone else holding that sign, but maybe it was actually that sign I was holding up, the free Sam Melia political prisoner sign. So this was on a stick for me to hold. Of course, I wasn't exactly holding it all the way through the city center, like this. It had a stick that was stapled onto it. Well, what happened was on that day, it was, and I was quite surprised at this myself, but it was pretty cold and it was also pretty windy, to the point where I was maybe at the far back of the steps and holding up the sign. Because it was pretty strong winds, I was trying to hold the stick with both hands so it doesn't fly away. Well, of course, the sign itself was. I don't know if they should use nails maybe next time, but they did use like staplers to put the sign up. But basically the wind was so strong it flew off the wooden stick. It didn't hurt anybody, thankfully, but I did get the sign back. And then from there on out, I was just holding it up like this. And you may see it in that photograph taken by Laura. I'll just get back onto this image here. Again, the photograph was Laura's idea, but it was a nice photograph nonetheless with that. So, yeah. So, yeah, Free Sam. I think that's actually a really good photograph. But yeah, again, really good day, really good turnout. And I believe, I don't know if there's any plans for any other demos, but I mean, I hope so, but I guess we'll just need to wait and see when it comes to that. And maybe I'll need to figure out if I can make it or not, because depending on if there will be another demo, which I don't think there's plans at the moment, maybe not, but if there is another demo happening, I mean, I'll just need to see whether or not if I can make it there or not. Maybe not, considering that, this would make it the second time I'll need to ask my workplace if I can, book a holiday. If not, maybe swap shifts around, and then they'll be like, well, that's a bit strange. Like, why have a Saturday off? That sort of thing. But anyway, but nonetheless, it was a pretty good day, pretty good turnout. And yes, that was all fine and dandy. So, hey, there is no alternative stream on Odyssey. Thanks for the show, Chief. No worries. Thank you very much. Excellent. Just back onto here real quick. Almost 40 people watching the show tonight, which is, again, really good numbers, really good turnout tonight. Thank you very much for watching tonight's episode. So, that was the Sam Melia case. So hopefully more development will happen with that. Of course, we'll keep everyone up to date with that in due course when it comes to that. So anyways, let's move on to the next topic at hand here. No Chance. I met Laura a few weeks ago. Really nice lassie. So that's really good. I actually need to meet up with you one time, Clive, in person, and also DJ. I know I met DJ one time at the PA Scotland conference for the first time in person, but you yourself, no Chance. I would like to meet you one day, if we have the chance and the time when it comes to that. So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic here, and then we'll move on to the Q&A section. Let's move on to the biggest elephant in the room, shall we? Of course, especially here in Scotland, the passing. Well, not just the passing, but the what do you want to call it? The I get it's a bit of a corny word. The activation or whatever it is. Please feel invited to like the stream and support this channel. Yes, definitely do so. I am up for that. Perfect, No Chance. Excellent. Well, you know where you can find me. You can find me Telegram or now Twitter, that sort of thing. But anyways, well, I'm sure we'll sort something out in the near future. But anyways, so yes, let's address the elephant in the room here in Scotland. But the hate crime bill has not only come to pass, but has now been initiated, activated, whatever you want to say it. Basically, it's now put on to full effect on the 1st of April. Funny enough, that would be Monday, April Fool's Day, which I guess part of me wants to believe that actually the bill itself was an April Fool's joke, but maybe the actual fact that it's actually come to pass and it's been put into official law, I guess that's the April Fool's joke on the establishment's part. But if it's a joke on them, it's a pretty awful joke, to say the least. But yeah, so it's come to pass, and it's now, I guess a lot of people are really worried about it. And then, of course, understandably so, because from what I've read, the bill itself, it's now come to the point where, if I've got my notes up here with that, because I want to make sure I get this all here correctly. So the bill itself, you could potentially be put into prison for a quote-unquote stirring up hatred, even in the privacy of your own home. So 7 years for basically what was considered to be a non-crime at this point in time, and then there was something that was said. 411 centres were being set across all across Scotland. I think some of those places, if not all of them, were actually from sex stores or sex shops, they were called. or or maybe like a porno store, or whatever they're meant to be called. They're basically being used as these like hate speech centers. So if you're someone from the general public and you suspect someone of causing or stirring up hatred over someone or a group of people or anything like that at all, then you just go to this center and you report to the police, or even just contact the police at any time. Basically, it's very it does come off as it's very communist living. It's something you would see back in Russia and maybe China when it comes to that. But anyways, Joe Marsh, real quick. I think the Scots police will hold off from making arrests for a while as the backlash has been bad, and they really didn't expect that. They know any high-profile arrest now will cause a shitstorm. I guarantee it. Yeah, we'll cover that in a moment here too. In fact, I don't know if there's something. Sorry, I just noticed something just outside of my house. Hold on a minute. Let me just stop the camera real quick. Hold on. Yeah, it does come off as a bit of like wrong thing. I don't know. Like, hold on a minute. What is that out the door? Wait a minute. Sorry, just bear with me just now, folks. I'm just having a look out the outside. It seems like a bunch of vans pulling up. I don't know what that's all about, but hold on a minute. What's going on here?
FBI, open up!
All right. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. Right. I know. I know I was trying to make like a bit of a humor when it comes to that, but I know there's a lot of people that are genuinely worried about this, and I know there's a lot of people from our side, or even from maybe not necessarily nationalists, that are very concerned about this, because this law is very, very draconian in nature. Not your place, my dear. The lights are on. Yeah. Welcome to Scotland. Yeah, well, this is a funny thing, isn't it? I've always heard about Scotland being a nation of home of the brave and land of the free, but I mean, that's just utter bullshit at this point, isn't it? There was even something I was going to say on Twitter, which I mean, I might as well just say it on the show just now, because again, God forbid whatever I say, might be considered, stirring up hatred or anything like that at all. But I'll just say this for the record, right? This bill has come to pass, and Hamza Yusuf still is not Scottish. I will say that for the record, and more importantly, even he knows that. Even he knows that, because he changes his nationality on the whim whenever it becomes politically convenient for him. Hamza Yusuf leading the race. For God's sake, it was. I heard the FBI that I knew you were having a laugh. Yeah, of course I know. Yeah, I'm just listening. Thought his window just came through. I know, right? It was a bit of a joke. It was a bit of a joke when it comes to that. But yeah, I understand that there's a lot of people that are very genuinely concerned about this. As a matter of fact, we do have the official government website. Let me see that we can have a look at this as well. See, he is Nick Frost with those acting skills. Dear. Right, let's have a look at the Scottish government website. The hate crime law comes into force. Let's have a look at this together, and we'll just showcase of the pure insanity of this new hate crime bill that's been come to pass. Greater protection for victims and communities. Who exactly? Unbelievable. New measures to tackle the harm caused by hatred and prejudice come into force today, that being April 1st, 2024. The Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act will provide greater protection for victims and communities. Those types of people, by the way, are, of course, women, minorities, old people, and that sort of thing. Basically, if you are a straight white male between the ages of 16 and 30 years old, like me, who's 30 years old, then of course, not only are you more likely to cause or stir up racial hatred, but you'll be potentially not only be thrown into the Scottish Gulag, but there's a possibility that any hatred towards you, that's totally justified, apparently, because of my history and all of that, right? Anyways, it introduces new offenses for threatening or abusive behavior, which is intended to stir up hatred based on prejudice towards characteristics including age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, and variations in sex characteristics. These extra provisions will add to the long-standing stirring up racial hatred offences, which have been in place UK-wide since 1986. Right, so that's the case. What's even the whole point of this bill then? If we already have something like this already in place since 1986? Oh, that's right, because it's mainly focusing on or targeting on a specific group of people, which, by that logic, that already makes this law very, very. It makes this law very hateful, doesn't it? Oh, but of course, again, like I just said, it's completely fine if that hatred is towards straight white males, right? It's okay to shit on them. It's okay to be hateful towards them, and maybe white women, of course, if they're part of it or not part of the agenda. But if it's the other way around, then those are the types of people we have to protect no matter what, right? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable that the state of this country, honestly, I can't believe it. The new laws were developed following Lord the Bracadale's independent review of hate crime legislation, which concluded that new specific offences relating to stirring up hatred were needed. The legislation, which was passed by the majority of MSPs in the Scottish Parliament in 2021, was also subject to extensive consultation and engagement throughout, including the communities affected by hate crime. Minister for Victims and Community Safety, sound foreign, said nobody in our society should live in fear, and we are committed to building safer communities that live free from hatred and prejudice. We know that the impact on those on the receiving end of physical, verbal, or online attacks can be traumatic and life-changing. This legislation is an essential element of our wider approach to tackling that harm. Right, okay then. It's so absurd. It's even come to the point where even saying something, just giving an opinion in the comfort of your own home, even that's not allowed. Like, you could be potentially thrown in prison for the maximum sentence of 7 years for just speaking your mind over something. And don't take it from me. Take it from fucking Hamza Yusuf, the guy himself who even I'm paraphrasing what he says with this quote, but you shouldn't be living comfortably saying this vile hatred or whatever in the comfort of your own homes. He has fucking said that in the past. He advocates for against severe human rights violation because wait, why is this even up for debate? I understand that the overall agenda that is part of an overall anti-white agenda, but again, it still begs the question. This is something that should never be put into conversation. It should be a fundamental human right for free speech when it comes to it, right? This shouldn't be up for debate. This is clearly politically motivated to try and shut down the conversation. That and also being part of the anti-white agenda, because we all know who this is targeting here. We all know the types of people that this is targeting on. It's targeting on straight white males. That's exactly what this is targeting. Well, straight white males and maybe some straight white women, like J.K. Rowling, for instance, which I know there's a lot of people that are showing support for J.K. Rowling, which I can understand that. At the same time, if you're going to support J.K. Rowling, you should also send your support for Sam Melia. Anyways, what's this here? Oh yeah, protections for freedom of expression are built into the legislation passed by Parliament, and these new offences have a higher threshold for criminality than the long-standing offences of stirring up racial hatred, which has been in place in 1986. We've already covered that as well. So yeah, so this new bill has really come to pass essentially. Yeah, I know. White entitlement. It's beyond the joke, isn't it? It's actually beyond the joke. But the funny thing about this legislation or this new bill, whatever you want to call it, right? The funny thing about it is people actually have taken advantage over this because there have been numerous for the past like 2 or 3 days already. There have been numerous accounts. I believe there was like what 4,000 reports, and I think it was again, I might be wrong in saying this, but 3,800 of those reports were actually about Hamza Yusuf because of his infamous speech at the Scottish Parliament. And I think also Anaz Sarwar was also part of that as well, of those complaints, because both of them have said some pretty heinous stuff about the white population of Scotland, which again, by their logic, that's them committing hate speech. That's part of the hate speech bill that's been put to pass. So with all those complaints, do you think Police Scotland are actually going to do something about it? Nah, of course not. Police Scotland are not investigating it. They're not going to be investigating it because it's I don't know. They says something about and maybe No Chance might help me out with this as well, but apparently it was something to do with the fact that they found no evidence of stirred up hatred or anything like that at all, or something to that line. But the funny thing is, and it's all over Twitter, it's all over YouTube, it's all over Telegram. The infamous video clip of Hamza Yusuf and Anaz Sarwar of the Scottish Labour Party saying some pretty horrific things about the white population, like Hamza's speech about white this and white that. Oh no, that's completely fine. We will not investigate that. But again, if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was a white native person from this country, from Scotland, if he were to make something similar to that effect, like, oh, this shop owner Pakistani, oh, this shop owner right here Indian, oh, this restaurant owner Chinese. If they were to make a point about that, then they would be labeled as racist and possibly thrown in prison for it. But if it's Hamza Yusuf, oh, well, no, that's completely fine. We at Police Scotland will not be investigating that whatsoever. We are fully committed into focusing on these hate speech or potential hate speech crimes that are going to be committed. We're not going to be focusing on lower crimes. We're not going to be focusing on theft or any other crime for that matter. No, that's not the part of the agenda. What is part of the agenda is, God forbid, that you might send out a slur towards a transgender person, a gay person or lesbian, or a minority being black or a brown person or anything like that at all. It says it's maddening. It's maddening to say the least. Now, I'm glad to see that people are coming out of the woodworks and showing the absolute horrificness of this bill. And Joe is right in saying that, of course, they're not going to outright arrest people right away. They're just going to let the backlash settle down a bit, and that's when they'll start coming after people. Who are those people they'll come after? I really don't know. And I mean, I really don't know when it comes to that. Police Scotland are corrupt just as much as the SNP. Well, I mean, they're basically one and the same at this point, aren't they? They're just like really in cahoots, together. Now, who would they come after? I mean, there's a potentiality they might come after someone like David Clues from the Unity News Network. They'll probably go after Count Dankula. They'll probably go after someone. Again, not to toot my own horn. They'll probably come after me. Why? Because my face is out there. My name is out there. I'm pretty public with my opinions when it comes to it. And I mean, I hope it doesn't happen when it comes to that. But there's that potentiality at the end of the day. So, no chance. They said, one, it wasn't criminal, meaning anti-white hate is fine. Yeah, exactly. Two, the law won't be applied retrospectively. Right, exactly. So it will only be applied for certain people or certain cases when it comes to that. Right. So yeah, I mean, they'll probably not start arresting people now, but there will be a point they will go after some certain people. Again, Clive, meaning they won't go back in time and punish people for things they've done before the law went live. Right, that's fair enough then. So maybe someone like me, or might be fine, but I don't know when it comes to that. So, anyways, but it is a bit worrying times, and thankfully, there was a protest that happened on this past Monday. No, wait, was it this past Monday? Yeah, there was Monday, the 1st of April. There was a protest or demonstration at the Scottish Parliament. I believe people from the Scottish Family Party were there. My colleague from PA Scotland was there also. Ochai San, thank you very much for watching the show. I appreciate you being in the chat. There was a lot of people that were there. Now, looking back on that protest, I actually wish I was there, to again talk to people, and because I would imagine not a lot of people are happy with this, as both No Chance and also Joe Marsh in the chat said. There was a massive backlash over this new legislation being passed. So yeah, clearly people are not happy with this whatsoever. Nobody is happy with this because this is a clear violation on free speech, essentially. That's what it really boils down to. And this is where we get into somewhat the next part of the show and what I was saving towards the end before we get into the Q&A section. But that is, will this be the last episode of Mood of the Nation? Because with this new hate speech bill that's come to pass, it has something that I've been thinking about while I was at work, because I would imagine, again, maybe not now, but there will be some point down the line, I'll probably get that knock at the door by Police Scotland because of the stuff I've said, whether it be at this point now or, since April 1st when it comes to it. Because again, there may be someone watching the stream right now that might be taking notes, that might be recording this whole stream and probably try and use it against me by taking me out of context or anything like that at all. So now we get into the big question for tonight. Will tonight's episode 198 of the Mood of the Nation podcast, will this be the big final episode of Mood of the Nation because of the hate speech bill? Well, my answer to that simply is this. I actually want to play a video clip from a certain film that I think perfectly sums up of my answer to that question. And I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys right now.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here! They're gonna need to send in the National Guard, a fucking SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere! Fuck them!
There we go. Yep, that clip from The Wolf of Wall Street sums up perfectly that, I'm not going anywhere. With it, regardless of this hate speech bill that's been come to pass or anything like that at all, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay exactly where I am. And you know what? If it comes to the point where I, just like what happened with Sam and James Costello and Sven Longshanks and all of that, if I get arrested for the stuff I've said, for speaking my mind on certain things, so fucking be it. I'm not going to change my opinions just because someone from the Scottish Parliament who isn't fucking Scottish, and even he knows for a fact that he's not Scottish, I'm not going to change it for him because he changes his nationality on a whim when it becomes politically convenient. 1 minute he's Scottish, but then the next minute he's Pakistani. In fact, Clive or No Chance in the chat even just posted a video recently about it. You can clearly see that for yourself. But yeah, I'm not gonna change, and I'm not leaving. So tonight is not going to be the final episode of Mood of the Nation. In fact, episode 200 of Mood of the Nation will not be the final episode whatsoever. I will continue on making more episodes of Mood of the Nation. I will continue on doing nationalism till the day I fucking die, folks. I'm not leaving whatsoever. I appreciate everyone's continued support when it comes to that. In fact, that's partly why I keep on going, because of you guys. You guys are partly the reason why I keep on going, doing Mood of the Nation or being a member of Patriarchal Alternative or anything like that at all. It's partly you guys that keep me going when it comes to it. And at this point in time, even with that bill come to pass, if I get arrested for it or be thrown in prison because of my opinions, again, just so be it. I will not change my opinion, and I will stand firmly with my beliefs, regardless of the situation when it comes to it. So I believe that Scotland is a homeland for the Scottish people, which of course being white people, and I don't give a flying fuck at this point if that's hate speech or not. That is the fact, and even the fucking treacherous bastards at the Scottish Parliament even know that for a fact. I don't care if that's hate speech, that's the truth and nothing but the fucking truth. And I stand by that opinion, and I do not give a flying fuck what people think of it. That's the truth and nothing but the fucking truth. And I will stand here and I will stay here until the day I die, no matter what. So, and that's my final answer for tonight's episode. Yeah, this is not going to be the final episode, nor episode 200 will be the final episode. I will keep on going until the day I die when it comes to it. So anyways, let's move on to the final part of the show tonight, because it's almost 7:30. We'll just do a short Q&A section at this point now until we reach up to 7:30, and then we'll call it an evening when it comes to it. Will I be back for next week's episode? Maybe, but I'll get back to you guys on that through other means when it comes to it. You know he's serious because he said "fuck" for Woodlander. Yeah, that is. It becomes serious business when I say the word "fuck." Yeah, you know it's serious when it gets to that part. So, and you know what? I hope someone actually clips that. That would be pretty base. Maybe something for, I don't know, Telegram or maybe or what's that platform? Well, maybe not that platform. I was going to say TikTok, but that's going to be cut shortly anyway. But maybe something for YouTube. I don't know, but that would be pretty base when it comes to it. So, anyways, let me just get that banner up here just now, as I often do for this section of the show, Q&A. Yeah, questions and answers. Ask your question in the chat, and I'll be very happy to answer them. There's is your wallpaper a hate crime? Do you know what? Maybe, because there might be people looking at this wallpaper, looking at the design of the flowers, I might think, do you know what? That's a symbol of white supremacy. I'm going to report that to the police. But there's a possibility. I don't know. I know, again, we seem to be joking on the fact of what's going on with the hate speech bill, but I mean, people are not happy with the bill, and part of the ways of countering that bill is, again, just poke fun of it, make fun of it, speak to your I would say speak to your MPs or MSPs about it, but we all know they're not going to listen to what you have to say, because those people are traitors. But again, talk about it, protest about it, just even make fun of it. I mean, we've already seen that a lot of people are already making reports towards Hamza Yusuf because of his comments towards the white population here in Scotland with his infamous speech at the Scottish Parliament. So clearly this new bill that's come to pass has already backfired within what, 2 or 3 days of it going live. It's clearly not going to be well for them at this point. But Are beards transphobic? I mean, anything at this point might be considered transphobic. Anything could be offensive towards transgenders or gays or lesbians or minorities. Anything can just existing can offend these groups of people at this point. That wallpaper will draw. Joe, no. God damn it, Joe, no. Hold on a second here. I just received. Oh, hold on a minute here. Is this another donation received? Wow. I'm not sure who this is from, but maybe. No, I don't think it'd be Woodlander, would it? It's Wood, but. All right, because it's not Woodlander, but someone else. But whoever this person was, they donated £14 to the show, which again, thank you very much for your kind generosity. If you still want to send any donations through, you still can do so via PayPal or buy me a coffee. Any donation received tonight would be greatly appreciated. It would definitely help out a bit. And you can hear that in the background. That's my dog Otis. Hold on a minute. We'll see if we can try and get him up on the couch. Otis, here, boy. Otis, here, boy. I know you're rummaging for food, but there's nothing there for you to eat. Look, I'm sure you've already been fed. Come up on the couch. Chill with me on the couch. Oh, that's it. There he is. Yeah, you'll come up on the minute here, but there he is. I don't know if I can actually reach for the camera here, but the Irish hate crime law has been scrapped temporarily as the backlash has been so bad. Well, maybe there's a possibility that might happen here in Scotland, but I mean, again, we don't know. I mean, we're not as... I mean, say what you want about the Irish. The Irish have been very, very vocal about certain things like the immigration problem that's been going on in Ireland. But over here in Scotland, it might be a bit of a different story. But anyways... Yeah, there's Otis right there. Oh, no, you're not going to try and hump my arm, Otis. No, stop it. See, I knew you would do this because stop it. No, we're doing a live show, Otis. No, stop it. I know you're horny, but god damn it. Yes, I knew he would do this. Even I wouldn't imagine this would happen on the show, but yeah, he's trying to hump my arm. He's still technically a puppy at this point in time, but I think he's almost like 2 years old, but he loves me. Yeah, he definitely loves me. Yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Anyways, but he's a good dog. He's getting there, so he's a good boy. And he is based. Yes, English Rose. He is a very based dog. Why has the dog got a black name? I don't think it was us that named it. I think it was a case of I actually don't know because my mother, it was my mother that picked Otis, but I think the dog was maybe it was a foster dog if I'm not mistaken, but and maybe the foster system maybe gave him that name Otis, but I really don't know. But I mean, I'll be frank, I wouldn't name him Otis, that sort of thing. But ugly truth, no, that's not true. No, we don't say that. No. Oh god, we're getting some of the edgy humor in the chat. Oh, excuse me. Dogs are the best. Yeah, I agree. They can be the best. Good evening, St. Harrison. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. You're now in the Q&A section, but anyways, any other questions that come through, anything at all, I'll be very happy to answer them. I'm just going to double check and see if I got any more followers on Twitter. What? It's like, where is it, Otis? All right, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's to do with tonight's show. That's fine. Yeah, I'll just mention for people who maybe come into the show late, but there was that whole thing on my Telegram, whether or not tonight's episode will be the final episode. And just for the record, in short, no, tonight's episode will not be the final episode, nor will episode 200 be the final episode. I'm staying here and making these live streams staying on to continue on being part of nationalism till the day I die, basically. So that's my answer to that question because of the whole hate speech law that's come to pass. What are you doing? Yes, I see you, Otis. I see you. Where is it, boy? What's the best cut of steak? I'm not entirely too sure, to be honest. I mean, for me, it's a case of like as long as it's steak and it's edible, then I'm not really complaining that much. But there he is. What? What is it? No, no, boy, no! Stop it! Oh, that's not on the show. No, stop it. Oh, you're asking Otis. I don't think he normally. Well, he would eat steak, but really, really, a filet mignon. I don't think I've actually tried no. I've never tried a filet mignon, but I should definitely give that a try at some point. Did that dog come over on a? No, he did not come over on the dinghy, St. Harrison. Oh. He did not come over on a dinghy. You know, it's a bit of a funny story when it comes to like these dogs, because my grandparents have two Westies. One's a boy, one's a girl. And I think this happened this past Christmas and the Christmas the year before. My mother would bring Otis down to my grandparents' house because that's where we would spend together as a family for Christmas. The problem with it, though, is being that Otis is still somewhat of a puppy at this point in time. The two Westies in question are a bit slightly older, so obviously they're going to, and Westies are known to be very territorial dogs. You know, they're very protective of their area, sort of thing. So to see another dog, and also both Westies, by the way, are white, just to be clear. Of course, seeing Otis, you know, clearly a darker dog sort of thing. Both the Westies called Max and Millie, they didn't really take that too kindly, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes they would be friendly with Otis, but they would tell Otis, look, this is our turf, basically, just so you know. Because again, Westies can be very territorial dogs when it comes to it. Otis didn't even buy you a drink first. Yeah, I know, right? It's shocking that. Shocking that. The objective answer is ribeye. Ribeye steak is pretty good. Yeah, I have tried ribeye before, and it's actually really fantastic. I don't know if that's something Otis might actually like. Maybe ribeye steak in the future, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see if we can have him try some ribeye steak in the future. But again, we'll just need to wait and see on that fact. What is it, boy? So almost is Otis named after the singer? Again, I'm not entirely too sure. Because it wasn't us that named him Otis. I think it was the Foster thing that named him Otis. But what is it? What is that? Otis, no. Again, I'm trying to do a show here, boy. Stop it. Yes, trying to get my ear as well. Enough. Hey, enough. Yeah, try and bite my sleeve now, yeah. Otis Redding, obviously, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. Black dogs matter. Yeah, I know, right? Really, in the middle of the show, Otis. I don't know whether or not this is supposed to be like wholesome or maybe somewhat alarming, but I don't know. Really. Ah, boy. If I don't know if we've actually been on I'm sure he was out on the walk earlier on, but I'm not sure if I should maybe take you out for a walk at the moment. I think the weather's fine at the moment, but you could always call him Horace. Sounds similar. Wait a minute, Horace. Oh yeah, it does sound actually similar now you mention that. Yeah, I could actually. Yeah, I mean maybe. Maybe I could. The weather is good. Yeah, I could maybe take him out for a walk and then maybe see from there. Let's see. Odo was named after the 90s BBC presenter. I did not know that. Well, I wasn't aware that there was a BBC 90s presenter named Oris, but it's a bit chilly on the wind, but in the rain, fair enough. Yes. Yes, boy. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Oris has upset me. I think I'll report him to Police Scotland. Do you know? Yeah, that's a good point. We definitely should report him to Police Scotland, and then definitely come and take him away. Oh, that's Dominus. Hump him back, or he's the dad. No, I'm not gonna do that. No. Oh yeah, I don't need that article here. Was there something that I'm forgetting here? Actually, now I think of it, I think of there was a Twitter post by UNM, but we've somewhat already covered that already. That's to do with the hate monster thing that was posted by Police Scotland. That between the ages of I think it was 16 or 18 through 30 years old, that age range are more likely to cause or stir up hatred towards certain group of people when it comes to that. So yeah, there's no really much point in covering that, but didn't he be a Bradley? You'll hump your dog, but I will not. I will definitely not. Otis Cole Hamza Yusuf. Oh God, no. Oh dear. Right, what is it? What boy? Oh God damn it! No, right, off, boy. Oh. Oh. Time is it? No, we're almost coming towards the end anyway when it comes to that. Any other questions that come through? Anything at all? You can ask me right away. It could be any question. I'd be very happy to answer them. So yeah. Oh, God damn it. Right, come here, boy. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna help you stop. That's it. Oh, is that my phone going off? It's fine. It's Telegram. No worries. Yes, boy. Oh yeah, I don't think we've talked about that, George Galloway. So I believe, and again, I might be wrong in saying this, but I believe George Galloway won. I think it was either he won a seat or he won part of an election or something like that, and there was a lot of people that were not happy with that whatsoever. I mean, look, if it gets to the point where, I mean, I'm not a fan of George Galloway by any stretch of the imagination. Really, I want to stop it. I'm not necessarily a fan of George Galloway, but if it gets to the point where it completely dismisses or dismantles both Labour and the Tories, or maybe even the SNP when it comes to that, even though it's the Westminster election, then, by all means, go right ahead. Anyone but the two major parties or any major political party here in Britain, because again, we all know he won a by-election. That was it. Yeah, it was a by-election. But yeah, I mean, like anything to dismantle any of these major British political parties, then yeah, so be it. So, not a fan of George Galloway, but again, yeah, I agree with that fact of dismantling those parties by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to that. On this question, man, who are you going to vote for? Cause I'm stumped. is this to do with well, which election? Will this be the general election, or would this be the elections here in Scotland? Because I know in Scotland there's one to happen. I think it's late this year or maybe next year or something like that. The general election. That's actually a really good question. I probably neither. I think for me, I would just probably. I don't know if this might be the good idea, but maybe just to spoil the ballot paper, because again, I personally don't believe that any of these political parties really share my viewpoints, nor do they even stand by with what they believe in. Politics is a waste of time and energy. I mean, I can see that, but I think for me, when it comes to that, is I probably would just spoil my ballot paper. To be quite honest, when it comes to it. I know there's the old thing like, well, maybe just not go out and vote, but I mean, I don't know about that answer. I think as long as you go out and vote, that's the main thing when it comes to it. But that's just my opinion. I know who I'll vote for in my local, and I personally like my councillor, even though he's SNP. That's fair enough. That's fair enough when it comes to it. I mean, it just really depends when it comes to that. If we don't get involved in politics, we just allow our enemies to take control. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with the idea that people should maybe start to get involved with council elections or anything like that at all. But I don't know if that's something I would be up for. I mean, maybe, but we'll just need to wait and see when it comes to that. So, George Galloway sure sticks to Israel. Yeah. Otis needs his own stream. How would that happen? Because considering that it would just be, well, maybe I would be there, but yeah. Anyways, Woodlander, catch you all later. Got to run. Don't bend over with that dog in the room. I will not, Woodlander. I will not. But thank you very much for coming along and watching the show. Greatly appreciate you being here. Don't matter who you vote for. It's all corrupt. I mean, I can definitely see that. But yeah, I'll just wait a couple of minutes and then we'll just end the show there. Really? Right. Come here. No, stop it. Not in the middle of the show, boy. Do this shit. What's this? Otis needs a little Hugo Boss uniform. Do you know it's funny? Well, with my mother, right? Whenever my mom would bring him over to visit, she does have like those little doggy, like it's not like it's like dog jumpers. Like he would have them wear from time to time, but yeah, it's. What I'll do is if he's wearing one of them, I'll take a photograph and I'll show you guys on Telegram at some point in the future, and I'll show you guys what I mean when it comes to it. But she has bought him one of those like doggy jumper or sweatshirt things, wherever they're basically for dogs, but I'm not entirely too sure what exactly they're meant to be called. But hey. Enjoy your walk, man. Talk to you later. Same to yourself, William. Thank you very much for watching the show. I think with that, folks, we will come to the end of tonight's episode. Right, come here, you. We need to say goodbye to the audience. Otis. God damn it. Otis, enough. Let the white man finish his show, Otis, all right? Enough, boy. Enough. Right. Joe Marsh, real quick. The system is bent and needs to collapse. Anyone who thinks we would be allowed to win is seriously deluded. Right. And with that, folks, I think it's now 7:30. We will come to the end of tonight's episode. I just want to say just real quick, just before we end tonight's stream, I'm going to see if I can get on to YouTube for the outro show or like an outro song for the show. Otis, enough. It really is pulling my sleeve now, isn't it? Thanks, Chief. Have a good night, everyone. Same to yourself, Deb. Sim, thank you very much. Night, lads. Night, Chief. Night, Otis. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you very much. I just also want to say just one thing real quick. I know that's everyone leaving, of course, at the moment. And again, I greatly appreciate everyone coming along and watching tonight's episode. I greatly appreciate your support. I know it's been like a long time since I last did an episode, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight's episode. And I should be back for next week. I'm not too sure yet, but I will definitely let you know and keep you guys updated for future episodes of when they're supposed to come. Because like I said, I've been pretty busy with work, and I think for this week coming, or maybe next week, I might find out if I'm definitely going to be kept on or not. From what I've been told recently, it's been pretty good reviews so far, so it's not like it's anything to worry about or anything like that at all. So, but I'll keep you guys updated with that as well, and that way I'll let you know whether or not if I'm able to do the show for more episodes or not. So, but yeah, with that being said, I will end the show there, and I'm gonna see if I can find what playlist did I put in? Was it maybe this one? I think it was music. Right, let me just pause that real quick. Yeah, I think it was in this playlist if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we might as well do that. Yeah, why not? Okay, cool. So yes, that's going to be the end of tonight's episode. I greatly appreciate everyone turning up. Even though I did not expect the amount of people coming along and watching tonight's episode, the maximum amount was about 37 or 38 people, which is really good to see. But yeah, with that, thank you all very much for coming along. And I should be back next week, but I'll keep you guys posted and updated for the next one, maybe next week. But again, I'll keep you guys updated with that. And with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take care, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all, and good night. Take care.
Bring den Wein zu mir, bring den Wein zu mir, ich verdurste hier. Komm, du Schöne, bring den Wein zu mir, denn mir ist nach Wein und Weib.
Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir. Wenn du tanzt mit mir, dann komm ich zu dir. Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir, dann bekommst du Wein und Weib.
Oh, komm, du Schöne, auf den Tisch hinauf, komm, wir tanzen drauf. Oh, komm, du Schöne, auf den Tisch hinauf, denn es soll uns jeder sehen.
Ich komm hinauf für einen Kuss von dir, ja, den wünsch ich mir. Ich komm hinauf für einen Kuss von dir, will ich oben bei dir stehen.
Die Sünde lockt und das Fleisch ist schwach, so wird es immer sein. Die Nacht ist jung und der Teufel lacht, komm, wir schenken uns jetzt ein.
Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir, und zwar jetzt und hier. Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir, ich will tanzen Leib an Leib. Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir, dann komm ich zu dir. Ich schenk dir eine, wenn du tanzt mit mir, dann bekommst du Wein und Wein.